This is Simon with AvaTrade, and I wanted to welcome all of you to our webinar. Of course, the special welcoming goes out to new people, and for those of you that this is your first time, I'll just explain in a few words what to expect from this webinar. And as the title says here, mapping out your week ahead, you can guess. We're trying to make a structure, make a plan for the week, and I always bring up the quote from traders when they say, you plan your trade and then you trade your plan. This way your trading becomes more organized, less chaotic, less reactive, and possibly followed by better results. A few things about myself. My name is Simon Friedman. I'm a senior account manager with AvaTrade. I started my trading career in June of 2000 as a prop trader in New York City. At that time, we had some real prop firms, not the ones on the internet. And I did it for about 11 years. And after that, I moved on and I started to mentor and educate others. Of course, trading is my passion. I think whoever likes trading could understand what I mean. Agenda of the webinar, we speak about indices, stocks, commodities, and Forex. We mix fundamentals with technicals. So first we'll go through some events and some details, what's happening fundamentally in the markets. And then we'll switch to the charts and go through the instruments and see how things look from the technical angle. Risk warning, you can find a full statement at avatrade.com website. Of course, what we do here is purely educational. We don't offer any trading suggestions or signals here. Social media channels, please feel free to subscribe to our Telegram, X, and YouTube. As I always say, YouTube is my favorite. You have a lot of things there, including tutorials, educational material, and webinars, including this one. So if you're worried about missing a webinar, you can always go back and watch it at your convenient time. So if you are watching this on YouTube, please feel free to click on likes, of course, only if you like it, and I hope you do. And share with people that might be benefiting from this. And of course, if you have anything to share, any questions, you can type them in. All right, so what's happening in the market before we go into slides? Also, I forgot to mention, today we're going to have about 14 winners and losers for the week in futures. We're going to take a look at them as well. So what's been happening in the market? We have the longest shutdown in history of the United States. It looks like it. We had some progress in China tariffs after a meeting of two presidents, US and China. We had reaction to the market initially, but then things just kind of cooled down, and we can see it by Chinese index. We'll take a look at the moment. So the shutdown, the China tariffs, because of the shutdown, the data that the Feds operate with is limited. We didn't have the previous report on non-farm payroll. It could be that we're not going to get this one as well this coming Friday. So also what changed, of course, we had the interest rate cut last week at the press conference, kind of turning things around. It could be that the December cut is not happening. And we'll take a look at the moment at the CME tools and see how that percentage of probability decreased for December meeting interest rate cut. All right, let's take a quick look. As usual, I take out these screenshots of articles. Most of them are from Barron's. So here the shutdown risk becoming longest ever. Why the end is in sight, and they give you the key points here. So one, lawmakers are nearing the resolution of government shutdown, with bipartisan talks reportedly increasing in pace and showing movement. Government shutdown is set to become the longest in history, surpassing the 2018, 2019 shutdown. Pressure, and this I think is the most important one here, pressure for the deal is mounting due to expiring affordable care subsidies, the potential depletion of SNAP funding, and coming state elections. So let's see, maybe we'll have a resolution this week and things will get back to, I don't know if you can call it normal, but more normal. All right. Here, what I mentioned that we might not have the jobs, no jobs report again, but these numbers show the U.S. economy, how the U.S. economy is doing. So investors are set. I'm just reading from the piece of the article. Investors are set to miss out on the second U.S. jobs report in a row due to the government shutdown. But there's enough scattered evidence to suggest the economy is hanging in there. With shutdown now passing the 1 month mark, the U.S. Labor Department probably won't be able to publish the October employment report next Friday as scheduled. So this Friday, right? So let's see, maybe they'll surprise us. Now the stocks, of course, we had major stocks reporting. We'll take a look at all the 7 magnificent stocks when we get to the charts. And these 3 were moving on Thursday and Friday: Amazon, Nvidia, Apple, Netflix as well, and the others. It says right here, Apple's revenue increased. These are the results, right? The latest one. So Apple revenue increased 8% to 102.5 billion, exceeding consensus. The company projects a 10 to 12 jump in fiscal first quarter revenue, right? So it looks like increasing. Amazon's adjusted earnings of $1.95 a share surpassed expectation, with revenue 180.2 billion beating forecast. And Netflix, 2 reasons here, rises on a report of it is exploring a bid for Warner Brothers Discovery Studio and streaming business. I guess they just want to grow and take them out of business and be the one big whale, right? They are already. Netflix also announced a 10-for-1 split, right? So we did see the Netflix shares jumped in the afternoon trading. So that's a positive thing, right? A negative thing, I don't know if it's negative, but it's kind of reality check. Buffett, which this is his last quarter, I think he's supposed to step down. It says right here, so I just read it. I'm not going to pretend I'm smart, right? Berkshire again proved a net seller of stocks as a cash balance swelled about 380 billion. And let's just continue reading here. Berkshire Hathaway stock buybacks once again in the third quarter while growing its cash pile further and driving improvements to its insurance business. Warren Buffett will be at the helm of Berkshire for the fourth quarter as well, but given that the famed CEO plans to step down from his post at the end of the year, this marks the last earning report from Berkshire that will be released during the Buffett era. All right, so it's a big number. And you know his famous saying, when everybody's greedy, I'm cautious, and everybody is cautious, I'm greedy. So this is the first scenario when everybody's just jumping on this AI wagon, and Buffett is holding $380 billion in cash. All right, so here's the Fed's watch that I mentioned to you, just to see the numbers. So next decision is December 10th, and here you go. So 1 month ago, probability of the cut was 89.2. A week ago, before that FOMC press conference, it was 91.7, and currently it's at 63%. That's a drastic drop, right? And a lot of it to do with lack of data and other things that are affecting the decision of Feds. Now, economic calendar, before we go into it, I just want to share with, especially with new people, what this is. And it's public info. You can access it on our web trader or the app. Of course, you can just Google it. You get these results. What I do here, I take out the high impact events only. There's so much more, so you can browse through it and choose, pick and choose whatever relates to your trading. And the times that I said here, times in GMT. All right, so these are the things in the upcoming week. And as I always say, if you want to be a successful trader, knowing this doesn't guarantee success, but not knowing this could decrease your level of success for sure, because you don't want to be caught by surprise in a certain market volatile moves that you have no idea about, right? So important to know ahead of time in a short message here. Okay, manufacturing PMI from China starting the week, CPI numbers from Switzerland, manufacturing PMI from US, and Governor of Bank of Canada speaks on Monday. Tuesday, it's all about Aussie here, it looks like it. We have interest rate decision, which expectations no change, monetary policy statement, and press conference. We have two speeches according to this calendar by European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde. Then we have employment data from New Zealand. We have service PMI from China on Wednesday, and this is the ADP employment that usually comes on Wednesday before the NFPs. Let's see how reaction to that number will look. Service PMI from US as well. Thursday, it's all about UK. We have also trade balance Australia, retail sales from Europe, and the rest is decision making or decision made from Bank of England following the Australia. So we have two interest rate decisions. So Bank of England, similar scenario, we have report minutes and the speech 30 minutes after the announcement. We do have scheduled non-farm payroll, but as the article said, most likely we will not have it. But it is on schedule, as was the previous one that it didn't materialize. And also we have employment data from Canada. Usually they report together first Friday of the month. So this is the economic calendar. Important, follow, make notes, make plans. All right, the futures are here for the winners and losers. Later, when we get to the charts, we'll go through them one by one in the charts. So Nikkei continues running as the weakness of yen is helping it as well. We're going to take a look. By the way, yen is reaching the point where we might be focusing on it a little bit closer. So Nikkei up almost 5.5%. Soybeans, we see the grains moving this week, and energy, right? Soybeans up 5.16%, wheat 4.15, natural gas had a nice run over 3%, cotton up 2.12, gasoline 2%, Nasdaq was up 1.86%, and corn 1.83. On the negative, just to make it clear, these are all futures, right? Futures for commodities, and two indices are here, right? To the negative side, sugar was down 3.67. We had metals down, gold down 3%, cocoa down 282, coffee down 247, platinum 185, and palladium down 1.5%. So these are the winners and the losers. Okay, at this point, we're going to move to the charts, and we'll start with indices. Then we'll take a look at some stocks, and then commodities, and then Forex. And for dessert, of course, we'll spend a few seconds for cryptos. Okay, so indices, China, as we said, it was a nice reaction to the possible deal made, and right after we had a sliding move here. Thursday and Friday we came back to this level around 15,240, the level that we couldn't break to the upside, and then we came to test it. This is crucial. If we manage to hold it and we establish a nice price action of support above this line 15,240, we could be seeing momentum continues to the upside. And if the opposite happens, if we dive below that level into this channel here, we might be establishing a new resistance similar to this one here, and then we might be sliding lower to retest and establish new supports. So that's important. Japanese index Nikkei, as we said, has been on the run for a very long time. Take a look. There was a nice flag here since then. Every time we go, have a little consolidation, move higher. This was a drop here on the shock on the tariffs. If you remember that, I think that was one of the Fridays when Trump said 100% on China. Since then, we just totally forgot about it and continue higher. All right. Now, we take a look on Friday. Friday will start really rounding here and possibly looking into correction. And I'll explain when we get to yen, as they are, of course, correlated, right? A stronger yen, not so great for Japan index, and the weak yen is much better, right? As they are exporting a lot of goods all over the world. So that's on Japanese index. Let's take a quick look on. I can take away these Fibonacci's, not to confuse us. Okay, so take a look. 3 consecutive days, even with the good earnings and everything else. S&Ps, we have 3 red days, and we are looking for some possible continuation. As we said, the shutdown continues. The Fed most likely signaled that most likely there won't be a cut in December. That's how the market took it in a way. So we could be actually sliding here from recent all-time highs. Nasdaq was stronger. It was strong for the week, but also we have Thursday and Friday moves to the downside. So I think, as you could see, Thursday the range was big. So maybe Thursday's low and high are going to be our indication whether we're moving higher, or if we break through Thursday's low, we might be moving low. Also, some traders actually follow this strategy. Something I learned a while ago. If the way they look at it, if Friday's low lower than the Thursday's low, they said that Monday could be continuation to the downside and vice versa. And that's what we see here, right? In both S&Ps and Nasdaq. So both low and close are lower. Similar situation to Dow Jones. The only thing, the Friday, pretty much a flat day, and it's around the Thursday's closing as well. So something is holding here from falling lower. Let's take a look at Europeans. Here we go. DAX closed below the trend line that was established a while ago. We could be seeing continuation to the downside. UK, this move, according to some analysts, has been happening because of the expectation of the interest rate cut. So let's see, if there's no cut, we might see sliding from here. Even if there is cut, we could be already seeing this priced in. And of course, we have to see what the global markets are doing. French index has been selling the whole week. So these are the indices. So as we see, towards the end of the week, the second half of the week, we had the sell-off in global indices. Besides the Nikkei. Nikkei remained strong, even though we had some correction the last hours of operation on Friday. All right, the stocks. And we just in general in stocks, the third quarter has been super strong. More than 80% of S&P stocks beating expectations. And we have this week another 132 companies of S&P 500 reporting. And let's just, I'm going to switch to MT5 here, and I'm going to show you a few of them that are reporting this week. Not to forget, we have a big pharmaceutical company, the RTX, which is Vertex Pharmaceutical. They are reporting on Monday. It's been a lot of volatility here. We had dropped, trying to recover, so we're not gonna guess. The idea is that they are reporting on Monday. Then we have AMD that made a lot of noise recently. The stock's been super strong right here. As you could see here, we've been sliding lower with the markets, and they are reporting on Tuesday together with Pfizer, the pharmaceutical company. Let me just find Pfizer really quick. Pfizer had a nice run here, right? We spoke about it a few times when the tariffs on pharmaceuticals helped Pfizer move higher, and then we had a reversal of strong V formation here, and they are reporting on Tuesday as well. Now, on Wednesday, we have you can call them giants, both of them in their area, they are giants. McDonald's is reporting, right? The big chain. They don't look so great lately. They are reporting on Wednesday, and of course, the technology company Qualcomm reporting on Wednesday as well. This day, we started the week with a huge move to the upside, which was erased by about 50% the same day. Oh, okay, so Qualcomm is reporting on Wednesday. And on Thursday, we have Airbnb reporting and ConocoPhillips. Airbnb, here we go. Well, I don't think we ever speak about this company here, so just take a look. We've been making kind of lower highs, lower lows, then we bounce back up, having resistance around 200-day moving average. So Airbnb reporting on Thursday, and we said ConocoPhillips, which is the energy company, I believe. Are reporting on Thursday as well. They've been down with the prices of oil, of course. Doesn't look so strong. So they are reporting on Thursday. So these are the few major companies that are reporting this week. As we said, all over, there are 132 companies out of S&P 500 that are reporting this week. All right, let's take a quick look at the Magnificent Seven. As we said, Netflix had a nice move up after some speculation they're bidding for that streaming channel, right, that we mentioned. And there's a split that they will look to execute. So if you had one share of Netflix, let's say just for the count, for the easy count, if you had the Netflix at $1,000 a share, now you're gonna have 100 or 10 shares at $100 per share. All right, so that's Netflix. Apple, we did have a gap up, but we closed lower here, right? Even lower than the previous. That's not a very positive reaction there. Amazon, same thing, we had a huge gap up, right? But closed lower. Of course, the gap is still there, and as we know, sometimes companies or the share price tends to move towards that closing the gap. So we might see that. Microsoft continues low, right? We had the gap with the earnings, and then we're sliding lower, approaching the 50-day moving average here, diving below the previous resistance here. Google holds strong, even though Thursday was a big gap that ended up with a lower close. Friday, we retested that low and bounced right back. So we are at 281. Meta, not so great, right? As they say, they're spending. The main negative part here, the earnings were good, but the main negative part last week was with the earnings and the report and projections. that they're looking to spend a lot of money in 2026, and that's going to hit their bottom line. And take a look, the reaction was a huge gap. And Friday we closed below Thursday's low. Doesn't look so great, right? Tesla, on the other hand, looks very healthy here, right? We had that Thursday drop, and Friday, with the market going lower, we actually had that jump on Friday. Boeing has some issues. They're writing off some billions of dollars with some issues with unsold inventory and so on. Here we go. Gap and continuation, gap and continuation. We stop right on 50-day moving average. That's more than 10% a loss in 2 days here, roughly, right? From 223 to 201, it's more than $20, more than 10%. All right. So these are the big guys, right? Let's take a look at the banks. Very important to see what the banks are doing. The banks are holding very nicely. Thursday, though, we had a nice attempt to break out the previous highs here, and then we refused or rejected that. And Friday we tried to break, and we still had Thursday and Friday positive days when the market actually sold. JP Morgan even stronger. The whole week we had the green day, or green week with the all green days, right? Bank of America even stronger, making all-time highs. So the banks are on the run. That's very interesting. Citigroup also. So banks are looking strong, and I guess that shows no panic in the market at this moment. So these are the stocks, right? And let's take a quick look at the winners and the losers for the week. Of course, I forgot to group them one by one, so I'm going to just look for them. Nikkei, we spoke about Nikkei, right? All-time high. We have soybeans. Here we go. We had a nice run in soybeans. I think this was a change of contract, and we continued higher. So finally, this move was cooking in the soft commodities. As we said, there was a lot of accumulation here, a long accumulation here from last year, right? And we broke through it. This move actually could continue here. We have soybeans, wheat, not as strong, but also a nice move. We're trying to break. This looks like a triple top here. We're trying to test here, right? August, September, and another attempt we're having as of now. Natural gas also has been playing and driving everybody nuts for a while. Take a look, up and down, and we had contract and continuation, and we are holding this previous highs here from June 20th, 414. We retested that high, and we closed 3 cents lower. Very strong. Cotton is another one that had a nice week, up 2% for the week. We are testing the 200-day moving average here. As you could see lately, every time we come to it, the sell-off comes. So let's see if it happens this time as well. Gasoline, up 2% for the week. Also, second consecutive week. Let's see if that momentum continues. As we said, Nasdaq, we looked into it, up 1.86% for the week as well. And corn, another softie, had a nice week with the gap, the new contract moving higher. So these are the winners. Nikkei, soybeans, wheat, natural gas, cotton, gasoline, Nasdaq, and corn. Of course, we had some losers, and it starts with sugar. You remember I made a joke either last week or week before that people are more conscious of their diet and they're reducing the sugar consumption. Maybe that's what it is. I'm going to repeat this joke again. But nevertheless, sugar has been continuing selling 4 consecutive weeks to the downside. Let's see the monthly chart. We did break through the previous strong support here with the double months here, right? We did close lower. Doesn't look so healthy, right? Sugar. Now we said that we had some correction in metals. This is gold, second consecutive week from double top here. Gold down 3%. Cocoa. Where are you, cocoa? Here we go. Last week was good for cocoa. This week, not so much. Coffee. Also, I think the previous week was very good for coffee. And this week, no, not so much. Second negative week for coffee after this nice run to the upside. Coffee down 2.47%, and another two metals, platinum and palladium. Platinum, 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive weeks. We did retest this level around 1509, 2 consecutive weeks, and we bounced from it. So we know that around 1500, it looks like the buyers are looking to buy around there, right? As you could see here on the daily charts, clear. Every time we hit this level, we bounce right back on the buying power coming in. So platinum down 1.85%, and the last one is palladium. Palladium up 1.52%. And it's weird because here I'm showing the positive. Okay. These are the winners and the losers. Let's move to Forex, and what the main things are dollar and yen, right? So US dollar, it looks like we are breaking through this resistance here. And I think the main reason is that certainty about the next interest rate cut in December kind of went away in a way, or partially or totally. So dollar, 3 consecutive days to the upside right after that press conference and the interest rate decision by the FOMC, right? So if we continue this way, we might be coming here to 100, and that's the previous resistance here. And maybe by that time, the 200-day moving average will catch up with that. So around 100 could be our resistance here. Of course, anything could happen tomorrow. We could dive right back in, but this is the current situation. And as I mentioned to you, what caught my eyes, the yen. We could be coming to that reversal on yen, and I'll explain to you why. Take a look. If you connect these two tops, right? Nothing's for certain. And as I always say, it's very, very subjective here, right? If you look at the chart, you can always find what you're looking for. But this is obvious here. Sometimes it works. We connect the two highs. We came right back to it on Friday, and take a look the reaction, right? Thursday was the first reaction and reversal. Friday as well. If you take 1 hour chart, as you could see here, we had a double top here, 1 hour chart, and it looks like we could be hypothetically turning around and moving lower here on dollar yen. So yen across the board could be reversing here. If you take a look on daily chart, Friday was positive for the yen across the board. Here also, if you look technically, we did reach that previous resistance here on Aussie. Canadian dollar will surpass the previous one, right? See some signs of reversal here on Swiss yen, Euro yen as well. We came to retest the previous resistance. We closed higher one day, and the very next day we closed below. NZD as well. So across the board, we are at very strategic level here for yen, and this could be it. And that's what I mentioned earlier. If yen finally regains that strength, we could see also reversal on Nikkei, which has been going vertical from right here from April, since that April tariffs kick in, right? The big beautiful bill of Trump. We've been just flying high here. So this could be a good potential. Strong yen possibly equals weak Nikkei, right? Something to really pay attention to. Of course, if the dollar is strengthened here, we have a weakness on euro. Pound has been just smashed really hard. As I said earlier, they are expecting the cut, even though according to economic calendar, there's expectation of no change. Australian and New Zealand dollar had a nice run with China move, but China turned around and we had, of course, 3 consecutive days to the downside on both Aussie and New Zealand dollars. And USD CAD had a little dive here as oil woke up and gave some strength to Canadian dollar. And then the last 3 days we're actually moving higher. And take a look, 140 is a very serious level. This is the level from back in May where the sell-off started after 2 consecutive days here, right? So we're coming here, and as you could see, a lot of actions here. We above the level, below the level, back into it. So 140, very important key level for USD CAD. That's it for Forex. Now let's just take a quick look at cryptos. Bitcoin, 3 consecutive days to the upside, trading above 200-day moving average. And XRP actually, I don't know if you realize, all over the social media, they're saying something about the ETFs coming out in November. I don't know how real that is. But so far we are holding above 2, definitely. We are holding around $2.50 for XRP. All right, that's it pretty much. Okay, guys. Don't forget about social media, Telegram, X, and YouTube. Subscribe, click on that bell. You'll be notified of new things. Click likes if you like it, of course. Let's just summarize things. The key points for these past week, we had some improvements on U.S.-China tariffs war. We still have shutdown, which is looking better. We probably have some resolution soon. We had the interest rate decision, which was priced in with the cut. And the negative thing was that possibly no further interest rate cut in December, which was kind of highly expected. We had companies, especially tech companies, reporting great. We have another 132 of S&P 500 companies reporting this week. We might not have, or most likely won't have, that NFP report, but ADP should show us some ideas. We have 2 interest rate decisions from Australia and UK. And I hope that you are having a good weekend. Enjoy it. Prepare yourself for the upcoming week. And of course, I want to wish everyone a positive and profitable trading week. Take care, all the best, and thank you for coming to our webinars. Take care.